If you've seen other videos on my channel, you know how we usually end things here. We have a phrase that we say at the end of each video, and if you don't, stick around and you're gonna find out. But that phrase is really relevant to today's video. And I think this whole concept is really actually very relevant to chronic back pain. Chronic back pain is not just a purely physical problem. Maybe for some people it is, but a good rule of thumb here is that if your back is hurting for more than 3 months, and in fact this is even like more than a few weeks, but let's just say if we want to be like completely on the conservative side here, if your back is hurting for more than 3 months, chances are this is not just a physical injury, or it's not even a physical injury at all. But if you go to the doctor or many other health professionals, you're probably gonna be persuaded of the opposite of this idea. They're probably gonna treat this as a purely physical problem. And just by ignoring this other component of the problem, which is mental and emotional, they're not really doing you a favor. In fact, they're probably kind of hurting you even more. But at the same time, you may leave that office feeling scared. I found this to be really common and typical, especially with a lot of doctors in my region. And chances are, I think doctors can be similar, sadly, in a lot of other places. So you're probably gonna get like a little bit of a cold treatment. Maybe they're gonna be even a little bit arrogant or rude. You're maybe made to feel guilty. They're kind of gonna be dismissive. They're not really gonna deal with this problem a lot, and this is all gonna fill you kind of in a way with a lot of negative emotions, with guilt, with victimhood, and with fear. And then you're maybe gonna also talk to friends or family. You're gonna complain about your problem a little bit, and they're essentially gonna do something similar. They're either gonna pity you, or maybe they're gonna kind of accuse you or blame you about your problem, or maybe they're gonna offer like unwanted advice. And this is also gonna fill you with even more fear in a lot of instances. And of course, if you struggle with back pain for more than a few days, honestly, you're essentially gonna start filling yourself with fear organically. This is completely natural. If back pain doesn't go away and it's maybe only getting worse as time goes by, it's completely understandable, like a totally natural reaction to start fearing that this problem may not go away, and your fear is gonna grow. And when dealing with all of these like other instances, like even outside yourself, like doctors, medical professionals, friends, family, information on the internet, like this is also another kind of like component that's also going to increase your fear levels. You're essentially just growing this ball of fear inside of you, and this fear is usually gonna first of all constrict your movements. Since you're probably gonna believe that chronic back pain is purely a physical problem, you're gonna think that you shouldn't really move all that freely and dynamically. Maybe you're gonna be afraid of lifting things and doing like strenuous heavy tasks, or lifting like things in the gym, exercising. You're gonna be fearful if you sit for a longer period of time, or maybe if you maybe like do anything that's more physically taxing. Your fear is gonna essentially restrict your life, and you're gonna start using your back, your core, and your body essentially less and less. And this is gonna further weaken your muscles. And this is a really vicious cycle. It's like a really insidious downward spiral. And you're gonna discover that the more your fear grows, somehow your pain also increases. You thought that maybe if you be a little bit more kind of like careful and conservative in your movements, maybe if you're a little bit fearful of like maybe being more active, that you're just giving your body some space, some time to heal, and things should start improving after a while. And probably even your doctors are going to recommend this, and maybe even family members as well. A lot of them are going to be concerned. Some of the doctors, they're just going to want to kind of like get rid of you, but essentially you're going to be recommended that you become more passive, you become more stuck in your body, and the cycle continues. You fear more, you move less, you feel more constricted, less powerful, weaker, and your back hurts more. And the cycle just continues, and it kind of amplifies over time. I myself fell victim to this cycle for more than 10 years. I was in a lot of pain, and the more pain I felt, the fear was growing in a way. I was moving less, I was enjoying life less and less. I was growing bitter and resentful, and I was being more and more afraid. And there's only one way out of this cycle. You have to break the cycle. There's nothing else you can do. And the only way to break the cycle is by doing the exact opposite. First of all, of what many people are going to tell you, but also what your fear is going to tell you. And that's precisely the point of this video. You're going to have to be brave. Eventually, you're going to have to face your fears. And instead of maybe you've had a dream, maybe as a child, where a monster is chasing you in the dream. And you're running and you're so scared and fearful. But then maybe you stop and think about it like, wait, why am I running away from this monster? Maybe the monster should be afraid of me. And you kind of turn and you face the monster and you start chasing it, and the monster starts running away. That's essentially what you have to do here. You kind of have to switch, and this can even be suddenly. Like maybe this video is gonna be the trigger that you need. That's gonna start changing things for you. It's really it should be a quick shift in your mindset. Just stop running from like all of the things that scare you, the pain, the fear, and just be brave. Just become powerful and free in your body once again. And really, it can be as simple as that. And this is gonna, maybe it's not gonna heal your back immediately, but it will mark a turning point in your healing journey. And from this point onward, you are gonna start healing. Your pain is gonna start reducing instead of growing. And there will be other things that you will need to do. Chances are you may have to work on your body a little bit. You may have to strengthen it. You're probably going to have to work on nutrition, maybe lose a little bit of weight if you have to do that. And also, you're probably going to have to resolve some psychological and emotional issues. And I talk a lot about this in my other videos. The next video is going to go into a lot of depth on how precisely you should do this. But it all starts with what we discussed in this video. You have to switch gears. You have to completely go from fear to bravery. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't. I will see you in the next video that's gonna appear above me. We talk about exactly how to heal, and until then, be brave.